guys, it's Kevin again, and this is giving me my review for the Vampire Diaries Season 5, Episode 11, 500 Years of Solitude. This episode was amazing. So amazing. So many great returns in this episode. Probably one of the best episodes of the show ever made. So many great things happened in this episode. I loved every single minute of it. There was just so many great things. And that twist! I love the twist in the episode. I love the twist. I thought the twist was amazing. I really am interested in seeing where the twist is going to go. The only thing was, where was Aaron in this episode? Aaron was really the only character that's a pretty big character that we did not see in this episode. So where's Aaron? That's my only question, is where's Aaron? I'm sure he will be back, but he's not in the show yet. Is his storyline over? I don't know. We'll have to see. So, pretty much what this episode is about is two big things. One, it's basically about Elena and Katherine, both of them. Katherine is basically dying now. She didn't actually die from the heart attack, thank God. I thought they were actually going to kill her, but they didn't. She is just dying from it. She's completely, gray and everything. And, so she's dying, and they're actually, all of them are happy that she's dying. And at the same time, Elena is trying to recover from her breakup over Stefan. And, Caroline and Bonnie throw her this breakup breakfast, which I thought was kind of funny. And Caroline actually recites everything about their breakup, and Elena's like, "You memorized my breakup?" This is why I love Caroline. She can just be hilarious sometimes. Everyone really shined in this episode too. Everyone really got their moment in this episode. So basically, you see Damon and Jeremy and Matt. They're around a table. Basically, Caroline and Elena come in, and they're around a table, and they're basically playing this drinking game. Which, this is not a drink, this is Snapple Apple, but this does count. Basically, take a drink at the worst thing that Katherine ever did to you. And, I was kind of upset by how mean they were actually being to Katherine in this episode. I understand that she's really been a bitch to them. I do understand that. But we got a pretty big reveal about Katherine in this episode, and I'm going to get to that. Right now, let's just get into that. The big reveal is that the real reason that Katherine forgot all about Nadia was because her father forced Nadia to basically, her father forced Nadia out of Katherine's arms, when she first had her. So, that is why Katherine is such a stone-cold bitch, stone-cold-hearted, basically, and, that was a huge reveal, and I really love that reveal. I thought that was a really great reveal in this episode. Also, as I forgot to say, this was their 100th episode, so that's why this was such a big episode, and why so many people returned was because it was their 100th episode. But basically, what ends up, what we see is that she was, Nadia was taken from Katherine when she, because her father took Nadia from Katherine. I definitely thought that was a pretty big reveal. And Katherine actually feels really bad about this. Meanwhile, though, Nadia and Elena and Stefan, and I really liked the shift in this episode. You had Elena and Stefan, and then you had Damon and Katherine, which I really liked. Damon also, found out, Damon knows about the whole, Elena and Damon and Katherine sleeping together, and Caroline actually did not know about this. Actually Caroline did know and Elena didn't, so I thought that was kind of funny. And Caroline also finds out that Bonnie and Jeremy had sex, so that was also really funny. Caroline was really funny in this episode, I will say that. Caroline had her own little plot, but we'll get to that, a little bit later. What ended up happening here, though, was that Nadia wanted to go to the Travelers to see if she could turn Katherine into a Traveler, so Katherine will live forever, basically, presumably. That's what she wants to do. And meanwhile, Stefan, who was a great friend to Elena in this episode, really great friend, he is comforting Elena, basically telling her, he's telling Elena about the whole thing with how she broke up with Damon, and he actually told her that yes, he does like her, but he actually supports the two of them together. I really like that Stefan is just being a friend to Elena, because you know what I think it is? Stefan, likes Katherine now, and he wants to not really think about a relationship right now. I think that's what it is. He wants to focus more on a friendship, and I would love Stefan and Elena to have a friendship. The problem with Stefan and Elena, in my opinion, is that I never really saw them in a relationship. I saw them more as friends. Damon and Elena, I do see these two in a relationship. I do. But Stefan does want Elena and Damon together, and he says they are good together. So I really like that he was comforting to Elena, because it was kind of surprising. I didn't really expect Stefan to be as comforting to Elena as he was with the whole Damon situation. I thought he'd be something like, hey, Elena, you're free, so why don't we try to get back together? But no, it wasn't like that. I like that it's different from that, because the love triangle thing last season, they did this last season, and it really bothered me. But now they seem to be done with the love triangle, because now we have Katherine. Meanwhile, Damon is comforting Katherine while all this is happening, and Katherine basically wants to fix everything. Nadia eventually comes in. Eventually what ends up happening is Nadia comes in, and she's talking to Katherine, and Katherine tells her all about... Katherine tells her about how she feels really bad for what she did, and Nadia tells her how, what we're going to do is we're going to have the Traveler basically, we're going to put your body into mine, your soul will go into mine, and you will live forever. And Katherine actually does not want to do this, because she feels terrible to what she did to Nadia. She hates what she did to her. And we get probably the most beautiful scene from Katherine we've ever gotten. She talks to Nadia and says, no, I don't want to do that. I want you, for all these years I've been so selfish, and I want you to be the one to live, not me. And Nadia is so surprised by this. Nadia says, fine, but don't expect me to stay by your side if you're just gonna die. And it's really sad, because Katherine does want to be the mother to her, but she knows that she also wants Nadia to live. So obviously, she would like to be her mother, but she also wants her to live. So I think, that's really Katherine being a good mother to Nadia, and really, we haven't really seen that. She's tried to be, the whole thing with her being, trying to apologize to her, but really here, this was the first moment of Katherine being a really good mother to Nadia, and I really did love that. I thought that was really big, and I really loved that scene. I thought that was amazing, in my opinion. I loved that. So basically, Katherine looks like she's about to die. Damon gives her this, actually, no, it's Stefan. Stefan gives her this sedative, basically this sort of medicine, puts her into a deep sleep. Elena comes by, she says, is she okay? And Stefan says she's not going to wake up ever, and that's what ends up happening to her. Then we get this really big scene, but I'll talk about it towards the end, because it does have to do with something that happened. Actually, I'll talk about it right now. We have this big scene between basically every single cast member of the show. They're gathering around this couch. It's probably one of the greatest scenes ever, in my opinion. They're gathering around the couch. They're talking about Katherine dying and everything. They're also talking about the Elena and Damon breakup. But also, Bonnie can see Vicky. Vicky gives one last goodbye to Matt. She says how, tell Matt to stop dating that Rebecca person, because Matt did get an encounter from Rebecca in this episode. Very brief, but I like that we did get an encounter from Rebecca. Also, Katherine was seeing Elijah. It wasn't real. It was some sort of a vision, because she was getting really weird visions. She saw Elijah. She saw... Who else did she see? She saw Elijah. I think she saw... Did she see Tyler? No. Yeah, I think she saw Tyler. It's some really weird visions from Katherine. I don't know what was... I didn't really know what was going on with her at that point, but that was definitely pretty cool. And now let's get to the very big ending of the scene. I love this twist that we have, because the twist is so amazing, in my opinion. We see Elena. She goes to Katherine, and Elena actually forgives Katherine. She says, I always thought of you as this selfish person, but the truth is you're not. You were not born as a bitchy, selfish person. You're actually a very nice person, but because of the way your life was, it's all, screwed up and everything. I forgive you for this, and I really like that about Elena. I was like, wow, Elena's really changing her ways. Elena, he's not being the whiny person we all know. I really like how they're really maturing Elena a lot, and that's really great. And then out of nowhere, Katherine grabs Elena and says, head says this weird spell. Somehow she has switched bodies with Elena. We see her eyes go dark, basically. Katherine is now Elena, and Elena is the one in the deep sleep. So Katherine is now going to pretend to be Elena, and I love where this is going. This is so amazing, because now Katherine's plan is she is going to pretend to be Elena. Meanwhile, Elena's going to be the one in the deep sleep. So this is going to be probably the big plot of the season. I'm really interested in seeing where this is going. What I thought she was going to do was I thought she was going to switch from basically her being the vampire to Elena going back to being a human. I thought that's what she was going to do. That's not what ended up happening, though. It turned out being something else. And I thought it was really awesome the way that all worked out. That was just, Katherine is such a badass. I'm so happy they didn't kill her off. I thought they were going to kill her off in this episode. And I'm so happy they didn't, because that scene was amazing. It proves why Katherine is the best character on the show by far. So now let's get to Caroline's plot, which was my favorite part of the episode, was the Caroline and Klaus encounter. Caroline sees Klaus. Klaus is there because he's still grieving over Davina dying and everything. He's grieving over that. And he's come to Mystic Falls because he's grieving over that, and he wants to basically find a place where he can, calm himself and relax himself, basically. I was surprised we didn't see any of the other originals characters like Marcel or Haley, but I guess it's because Marcel has never been to Mystic Falls. Haley has briefly been to Mystic Falls, but I was a little surprised we didn't see Haley or Elijah. We did see Rebecca for a couple seconds. But Klaus tells Caroline that that the real reason he's there, Caroline keeps asking, why are you here? What's the real reason? She said, did you just come back here so I can, keep rejecting you? Because Caroline keeps rejecting him. She wants nothing to do with him. And Klaus asks her one very specific question. He asks her, what do you want? And Caroline says, if you leave, I will tell you what I want. And she tells him exactly what she wants. She goes right in and she kisses him. Finally, we get the Caroline kiss we go more, and we get more than that because it ends up being a sex scene. Yes, they do end up having sex, and I thought that was amazing. It definitely makes me think that something is happening with Caroline and Klaus in the future on the originals. I think Caroline is going to probably end up being on the originals eventually, because they would not just put that scene in to put that scene in. They put it in specifically because it was the 100th episode. It's also something we as fans have been wanting, and I love these two together, so I'm really happy we got that. And then we also see Tyler. Now, Tyler's back, so, Tyler and Caroline have broken up and everything, so it's kind of awkward, but we'll have to see what happens with Tyler. And I really hope they don't get Caroline and Tyler back together, because she just met up with Klaus, and I really love for Klaus to actually stay in Mystic Falls. We know that can't happen, though, because he has to go back to the originals and everything, but I would like for Caroline to actually go on to the originals, because I really think these two have so much chemistry, and I love their chemistry together. Perfect episode, in my opinion. I loved every single minute of this episode. I thought it was so great. Also, Stefan and Damon, I forgot to say they had this conversation that I really liked. They were both on a rooftop, basically, and Stefan did tell Damon, I'll always be in love with Elena, but I do support the two of you, and I think you two are in a good relationship. And I really love how Stefan is just being this really nice guy, He's not being douchey. He's not being douchey or anything. He really is supporting the two of them, and but he also supports that Damon, doesn't think he's good enough for Elena, and I like that a lot too, because we're going to have to see what happens here. But let me know if you guys saw this episode. What is going to happen now that Katherine has switched bodies with Elena? Probably the most interesting part of the episode. What's going to happen with Caroline? Do you think Caroline might actually go into the originals with Klaus? What do you think is going to happen there? Is Elena going to wake up eventually? I think eventually she's going to wake up. She is the main character after all, so she has to wake up eventually. And also Nadia. What happens to Nadia? Is Nadia going to think... I think Catherine's going to pose as Elena now, basically, so it should be very interesting to see what happens there. So that's it for my review. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, perfect episode. Loved every single minute of it. I will see you guys in the next video. And I don't know what my next video will be, but we'll have to see. So I'll see you guys for that. Bye. And I'm so happy Vampire Diaries is back. Bye.